Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going in early intentionally because I want to hear something.
I've had other people in my family, but I was the first one. Not like a bracket or anything, but
No,
it wasn't like I was right. I wasn't right.
Fuck. Man, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck. Let me see.
In an environment like that.
right. So you were raised by your mom, and how many siblings did you have?
I have three brothers and one sister. My sister's passed away, and
Not gonna work. Shit. Man, this is like the best I can do right now, too. That's okay. So here's the deal. I have found a way on my iPhone how to record phone calls from prisoners. Well, from everybody. So I worked on this microphone. I had to upgrade something. I still think I did not do it right. Let me see what I'm doing. Let me see. Okay, that's not so bad. But I don't know if it's going to work putting. Somebody tell me. Rob's just letting us hear his phone. Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna call for a few minutes first, and then we'll go into it. Okay. Okay,
Tell me if you guys are gonna. Tell me if you can hear this.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. You were born and raised in Texas, right?
I was born and raised in Big Spring, Texas. Went to, and then I moved to Fort Worth later on in life. Lived there about 8.
Is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? So somebody tell me if that's going to work or not. I mean, it's probably going to have to. So I don't know yet how to put these, and I probably could have called Mike. I don't know yet how to do this in a video. Like, I don't know how to use the voice from my notes in a video. Okay? I really haven't asked too many people. I haven't talked to anybody. But it's clear for real. Okay. Okay. Cool. And again, just because the other night I went back and listened, a couple things about the last live I did, which was about the assault on Benny Giarratano, whatever. Boy, I bounce like fuck when I'm doing a live, right? I really do. Although I will say that a lot of people did like it. I did not like it when I went back and watched it. I didn't, but whatever. And so my point was I was going to do more videos for important stories or whatever. Who knows? Whatever. We'll get it. Aaron, it's clear. Sounds okay. Okay. The last live was hard. It was terrible. So I've got this microphone, which is, I think it was like $250. I think that's what it was when we bought. I forgot. It's been a minute. I think, or 50 or whatever. I don't remember. But what happened was when I went to the pen, went back in, they had an update on the software. Well, I don't have the app that shows it, and it tells me to get in the app, so I went into setting. I think I got it. We'll see. So then it came on these recordings, which I'm gonna have, dude. I'm gonna have so many coming up here. So I've got to make this work somehow. Okay, it's better than tape a call or whatever I had on Benny Giarratano stuff last time. It's way better than that. So anyway, I'm gonna run the story down. Well, run the tapes down. That's a go. Okay, let me go up here. Let me go back real quick. That's a GoFundMe link to this guy's page. Okay, his fam. Boy, he's a handsome looking fellow too. Go look at him. That photo, he's got like does he got a mullet in that photo? Big old sideburns. He is a big bastard. So anyway, Here's the deal with this guy. I met him in the hospital, and what the hell is that? What? What's that? What the fuck is that behind me? Hold on. Wow. What was that on the screen? Did you guys see that? I'm dead serious. What was that? Okay, so there's a ghost in here. You guys think I trip out? Did you guys, were you guys on the live when I heard babies crying? And they're like, there's no kids walking around here. What? I see it again. What is the darkness? Where is that freaking coming from, for real? Okay, well, whatever. The lady in this house was Annie. Her mother killed herself in the back, so maybe they're out. But it's a trip because I can see it in the screen and I do not get it. I don't know where it's freaking coming from. That's a trip, man. What a trip. Okay. And here we go. Did I just do this already? I just did this. There I am. Okay. Called him handsome and laughed hard. Okay, whatever. Let's go back down. Okay, hold on. So once again, let me start back off. So this is Paul Krueger's GoFundMe link, okay? It's also in the description of the video, okay? So let me go ahead and answer a few questions. Sound is gravy. Hey, Pawns, I'm really good. Okay, sorry if I've been drunk and offending in the last post, but I'm here listening. It's okay. I don't even remember. It's clear for real. Sounds good. The last live was hard as hell. Did you see Skinny, Joey, and Beaumont? I wasn't in Beaumont. This guy was in Beaumont for 18 years. 18 years. It was a big black shadow. Called him handsome, laughed hard, shadow person. Yeah, what the fuck? Really? Wasn't that a trip? Like, I'm telling you, that shadow. There's absolutely no reason that shadow should have happened. Zero. The lights aren't. But anyway, forget the shadow. It's still okay. So let's do the recording here in a second. Okay, so here's the deal. So Eminem. A few guys out there from, I guess, Big Springs area. Paul Krueger's his name. He went by Cheeseburger on the street. Eminem in prison because he looks like the fat M&Ms, like one of the M&Ms, like the cartoon M&Ms. Looks like a lot of things. Looks like it. Anyway, I met him in July of 2024. He came from Beaumont. He was there 18 years. Let that sink in. Beaumont, 18 years, by choice, could have been transferred to a lower security, but stayed there because of one of his friends. He was taking care of an older guy, okay? Well, we'll let him tell it in his own words. But I met him. He had colon cancer, going through treatment, tumors on his kidneys, went through radiation and chemo when I was there. They just had a sentence clemency and commutation in with Biden. I honestly did not think he was going to get it. I swear I did not, because it was a very generic clemency, something some inmate scribbled by hand, threw in, It's been pending for like 3 years. No, it was pending since the Obama administration, okay? Biden grants 2,500 clemencies, nonviolent drug offenders, lets him out. So he had life without the possibility of release for drugs, like I did. So he's in the hospital now. So he's granted clemency, but they give him 6 months to get out. His family situation is not good. He does have a daughter and a son who he's not been in their lives, okay? Because he's been incarcerated, like a lot of fathers, like myself included. So he's getting out to a situation where he's going home to a guy that was his cellie in prison. They've already approved his parole plan, but he's flat broke. A distant cousin or somebody put the GoFundMe page up for him. Donate if you wish. If not, whatever. But you guys can hear him. Again, Beaumont, 18 years. Oh, so when he came in, my friend Gary Settle was at Beaumont. They knew each other very well from Beaumont. Eminem was respected at Beaumont. I bet you there's a lot of people I bet you there's not dirt, but there's jealous. So he's from Texas. He had the Texas car on and off. So you can go look at his picture. People think only big buff guys have cars. It's not true. Boy, like I told him, you got to cross a lot of mofos out to stay 18 years at Beaumont. That's a little joke that I had with him, okay? There's someone off camera doing that. There's nobody in my house. There's nobody in my house right now. The windows are actually shut. The blinds are actually shut. There's one light on. So I'm telling you, I have no idea what that was all about. But let me go ahead and do these tapes, okay? So let's get past here. I'm talking about Gary tomorrow. Who's going to call me?
It's Texas, right?
I was born and raised in Big Spring, Texas. And then I moved to Fort Worth later on in life. Lived there about 9 years, something like that. And then went to federal prison.
How old were you?
37, I believe, when I went to prison.
Okay, when did you first start getting into drugs and drug dealing and stuff like that? Crime?
I started selling cocaine when I was 13.
13? Okay, so young, right?
Yeah, I was the first one in my family. I'm the only person in my family that's ever sold drugs or been to prison or whatever. I mean, later down, I've had other people in my family, but I was the first one. Not like a bracket or anything, but
no,
it wasn't like I wasn't raised in an environment like that.
Right. So you were raised by your mom, and how many siblings did you have?
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. My sister's passed away, and
what place were you? Oldest, youngest?
I was the second to the oldest.
Okay. All right. So when did you first go to prison? How old were you?
First time I went to prison was in like 90. Oh man, I want to say 97, 98, something like that.
Okay. And that was state prison, and for what?
Yeah, that was state prison.
Texas.
Cocaine.
Okay. And how many times did you go back to prison violations?
Never. I went to prison at one time and then this time.
Okay. So, when you got hit for the feds, you got charged with what?
Conspiracy to possess methamphetamines and cocaine, but they dropped the cocaine and put it on my co-defendant and dropped the meth off again.
Criminals.
All on me.
Okay.
I want people who are in that life that are actively dealing drugs to understand something right now. What is the freaking shadow? Fuck, I gotta leave this alone. Okay. He got indicted for cocaine and methamphetamine. They dropped the cocaine charge on him. They gave him the lead organizer for the meth and his co-defendant who went to trial with him, the coke, and made him the lead organizer for the coke. Okay? They have 5 years from the day of the last sale, witness, or whatever to come get you. 5-year statutory. They might have upped it to 7. I think it's still 5. But imagine going to trial, 2 different drug qualities, 2 different drug types. evidence for totally two different types of cases, which you're going with the co-defendant, who's really not even your co-defendant, but they did it in the interest of justice and time and money. Okay? It's straight BS.
Charge you as the lead organizer of the crime. Did they ever offer you a deal to become?
No.
Never.
Never.
So you were always facing, because of you had 2 prior drug convictions, right?
Well, no, hold on. Let me take that back. The first time I met my lawyer, he says they wanted to know about my co-defendant, Tito Franco, and I said, look, man, I ain't seen that dude in 30 years. There's nothing I can say or about him. They said, well, they're going to give you life if you can't figure something out to say about him. I said, well, I guess you're going to have to give me life because I'm not a rat and I'm not going to go down like that. I said, he goes, so you're willing to throw the rest of your life away to protect somebody else? I said, well, I said, I'm willing to throw the rest of my life away to do the right thing. I'm not trying to pin my misgivings on somebody else.
And let me say right here that this is a big deal because lawyers are shocked when people don't cooperate.
Okay, I want to make another comment. So many people rat and snitch in the drug game that lawyers are absolutely stunned when you do not cooperate. Freaking stunned. They cannot believe when you tell them that you're not cooperating. That's true.
They're actually stopped.
But they, after that, they never offered me nothing other than that. And when at the day of my trial, I asked my lawyer, hey, what? And he goes, well, even if they did, you said you weren't gonna take a plea. I said, no. I said I wasn't gonna tell on anybody else. I wasn't gonna tell on nobody ever.
He was trying to cop out and plead guilty for like 20 to 30 years.
And because I've never told on nobody. And he said, well, you were gonna have to tell on somebody.
Right. Okay.
So I got life.
Okay. So, how was the trial? Hang 'em trial, real quick. How long?
3 days.
3 days. How long did it take the jury to come back?
Probably 6-8 hours.
When did it? Go ahead.
But it's because they tried me and my co-defendant together, even though we were on 2 separate indictments. We weren't even on
indictments.
the same indictment.
Okay.
That's such BS.
But when my lawyer tried to get us separated, they said it wasn't cost efficient to try us separate, even though we weren't. Our cases are 2 different cases.
Yeah, and 2 different kind of drug types.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important. Okay, so when did it dawn on you that you were going to get life without parole or life without the possibility of release? When did it first dawn on you? Seriously.
Well, to tell you the truth, I really believed that I never thought that they would find me guilty because of the simple fact I didn't figure they would find me guilty because they didn't have any evidence. The guy that told on me said that the guy that told on me I haven't spoken a word to in over 3 years before my trial.
So stop. They get busted 3 years after the transaction takes place. 3 years. So he was foolish enough to believe and didn't do enough research to believe that he thought he had a chance. I think it's 95% conviction rate, 97%, based on the fact, and he'll talk about it. He was in a room when the snitch was in the front room and somebody walked in and bought drugs and then came out. Listen what the judge said to the jury.
They didn't have any of the drugs. They didn't have none of that. All they had is him saying he bought drugs off me and 2 girls saying that me and him went into a bedroom and they didn't see us make the transaction, but we came out that he had drugs, so he must have got it from me. And in fact, the judge gave a scenario. Do you have time for me to tell you the scenario right quick?
This isn't the scenario. This is the jury instructions that the judge tells the jury.
Yeah, sure.
The judge gave a scenario. He said, look, if you come home and you see a guy in a white Jeep pull up and put a letter in your mailbox right next door.
This call is from a federal prison.
Put another letter in the mailbox. That's a mailman. They all agreed, yes. They said, tomorrow you pull up the same guy doing the same thing. That's the mailman, right? They all agreed, yes. Well, Friday you're late getting home, but you got a letter in your mailbox that mailman had to put it there. They all said, yeah. But that's not true. You didn't see that man, but so they're trying to say that just because me and him went into a bedroom that he had to have given me the drugs, that I had to have given him the drugs, which is a lie.
So wait a minute. The judge did this for jury instructions? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So the judge tells the jury, You see a mailman come and drop it off. Basically, I think you guys heard him. Mailman comes back day after day. You know, it's the mailman that put that letter. You don't see him put it in there. Basically, he's a drug dealer. Find him guilty. There's not someone off camera, by the way. The man should be free, so he was granted clemency. So, but he does have a colostomy bag now. That is temporary, though.
Yes, the judge gave that on jury instructions.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. It's something I didn't know.
Yeah, he said that even though you didn't see him, you didn't see that guy put that letter in the mailbox, you witnessed him do it the other times. He had to have done that, which is wrong. You know, that mailman could have been sick. Who knows? You know, it could have been anybody put a letter in the mailbox. But yeah, that's what he told the jury. And the two women said that me and him got up at my apartment and went into a bedroom. We came out. He had the drugs. Even though they didn't see me handle them, they know that I did. Anybody could have been in the bedroom. But, you know.
It's the feds. If this was state, it would went down.
But you see, I never thought that, since it's been 3 years, I never figured there's no way they could convict me. They didn't have any of the drugs. They didn't have, it just, also people's word that they got a shorter sentence to tell on me.
Yeah.
So how's that fair?
So this is a good example for everybody because I've been asked about this before. There's I think the statute of limitations is still 5 years. So something like this happened, and you did a transaction, 4 years, 11.
Again, right now, if you guys out there or you know somebody that dealt drugs, if they sold somebody an ounce, for example, an ounce could be sitting in a police locker for 4 years, 11 months, and 29 days. And they come and indict you. Yeah.
7 months and 30 days or 29 days ago, they can come back and get you on something like this. I just want to make that really clear. Okay?
Right.
Okay, so you get life, and you are sent by bus because you were in Texas to Beaumont. When did it first?
No, a van. I was here from my county jail. A van drove me up there personally.
Okay, USP Beaumont at the time, or was it an FCI?
Yeah. No, it was a USP Beaumont.
Okay, so this was what year?
2008.
Okay.
2008 or it was like the end of 2008 or early 2009.
Okay. When you went to Beaumont,
it was just turning over to an SCI because it was so dangerous. They turned it over.
Okay.
So when he got there, it was a USP Max. They were turning it over because of all the violence that was happening there. It was Bloody Beaumont at the time. We'll talk about that.
So you missed the original Bloody Beaumont is what you're saying?
Yeah, I missed it, yes.
Okay. So then it really was Buddy Beaumont, right?
Buddy Beaumont.
Well, it was a medium, yeah, and then for like 2 years, and then it went back to the USP. And, it was violent, but probably not as violent like it was back in the day.
Yeah, because there's a lot of hype around Beaumont, and rightly so. So every prison.
I mean, I've seen lots of people get stabbed. I've seen people get killed. I've seen people get killed and shoved under bunks. But
okay. So you went there. You said 2008, 2009, right? So 2 years it was an FCI basically when you were there, right?
Right.
It flips back into a pen. First of all, did the Aryan Brotherhood, the Aryan Brother,
Listen,
the original.
Listen, Aryan Brotherhood fans.
While you were there at any time.
No. I mean, there might have been no more than one or two of them there at a time. No, they never. And they didn't run.
They never.
Not while I was there.
Just by their very presence, they never had any influence to take over the yard.
No, not that I understood. No.
Okay. So.
Okay, stop. So he's talking about, when he said understood, he was talking about actually before then too. There is a myth that every time the Aryan Brotherhood or a member of the Aryan Brotherhood shows up at a prison, everybody else falls lock, stock, and barrel, whatever, follows behind him. Not true in every prison. Not true. Beaumont, so there was actually two that I know of when he was there. They didn't run shit. Maybe they ran a little crew of people, but he talks about this too.
What were the dominant prison gangs that you've seen? Now, I won't spend too much time on it.
Well, I mean, you had the Serranos, you had the Aaron Circle. You had ABTs. You had SAC. You had, I mean, but none of them really had nobody ever ran the yard. You know, say not one.
Okay, I want to stop there. He just said he named a bunch of gangs. Gangs. I can say the Boston car. Okay. Now I've talked to somebody in Boston who will say, well, no, he said he had the car for Boston. But let me point this out. You can get 5 individuals, 5 people that are from 5 different walks of life in prison, even if, okay, let's say white guys. 5 different white guys. One's from the East Coast, one's from the West Coast, 2 are gang members, 4 do drugs, 1 doesn't. Give me 5 white guys from different walks of life is what I was going to say. You ask those same 5 people who are Beaumont at 2010 to 2012, this is an example, who ran the yard, and I bet you, 2 of them will say like the Dirty White Boys or the ABTs ran the yard. And other people say they didn't run the yard. It depends on the influence that they have, on the circles that you run, what you believe. There are people that could believe that so-and-so and such is running the yard, and they're not. To those people, they are. To that group that they are. And this is so, I got to do a video. This is so important. I know people that the guys that stay out of the way, that nobody knows, that has no clue what gang members are on the yard or what gangs. So now, every prison is different. Every prison system's different, okay? My point is, and I forgot I was going to bring this up before, you might have people that actually thought, and by the way, black guys who think that some SAT guys are all ABs that are running the yard. Or that there's certain guys running the yard that's not even running the yard because somebody told them so. Or a Hispanic population, the Paisas, they might say ACs ran the yard, but they didn't. I'm just giving different examples on how it depends. Everybody has a different story to tell. Everybody's impression about what going on in the yard can be different based on what they're doing. Are they doing drugs? Are they into sports? Are they hanging out? Are they in Odinist pits, just doing the Odinist thing? Let's not talk about the Wiccans. Let's not do that right now because they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of them. But anyway, it's totally different. Okay, let's go back.
Specific group. Okay. There were DWBs there. There was
Oklahoma, Texas accent.
What you're saying, there was a bunch of different gangs, and no one gang ran over everybody.
No.
When you were there, okay. Yeah. And of course, you did go back into USP. You did see a lot of violence. How many years in all were you there total?
Well, I mean, I was there.
This call is from a federal prison.
2008 to 2024. I never left. I was there the whole time.
And you were able, when it was a pin, you were able to go down lower, switch custody to a medium, and you chose not.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. That's 16 years. That's not 18. That's 16 years. Ooh, I got to do the title.
You chose to stay in USP Beaumont.
Yeah, I chose to stay there.
Okay.
Up until the time I got cancer and I left because of my cancer.
One of that was because you had a good friend that was older. What was his name?
Yes.
Cotton.
Glenn Cotton.
Okay, and you basically were taking care of him, right?
Yeah, I took care of Mr. Cotton the entire time.
And if you didn't get, so you got cancer and you were eventually sent to Butner FMC. If you did not get cancer, you'd still be at Beaumont, right?
Yeah, I'd still be there.
Okay, so I just want to, I want to say that to be at Beaumont 18 years is a big deal. You spend a lot.
It's actually 16 years, I just realized. Walking Tall, does the Mexican Mafia run the Sureños? Yes.
Okay. So you got diagnosed with cancer. What kind? Colorectal and kidney?
Colorectal.
Okay. Not the kidney?
No, they don't know for sure about the kidney, so I don't want to say yes. They don't know for sure about the kidney, but
Spirit of New Orleans,
absolutely.
absolutely.
All my radiation, all my chemo, and I've had the surgery to have the rest of it removed.
Okay. And currently, you do have, I'm sorry, you do have a colostomy bag?
It's an ileostomy bag. It's the same as colostomy bag, but it's so it can be reversed later.
Okay, so
Boy, he better be glad. He better be glad I'm not. I'd be driving him right now. Shitbag boy.
granted you clemency, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Biden.
On January the 17th of 2024.
And
I mean 25.
I was there, by the way. He did put in a petition, updated.
Dear Mr. President, please let me out. That's about as big. That's really what the petition was.
He addressed why he was there. I mean, that's one of the things he did. But Biden was going to do blanket clemencies, I do believe, anyway.
Yeah, I believe so too.
So,
I don't believe my cancer really had anything to do with me getting clemency. I think it had a lot to do with my attitude and my non-violence. I have no violence whatsoever.
yeah. And I need to add right here that, so you did see Barack Obama let a lot of people go that had cases just like you. So you were in the hopeful crowd. So you always believed you were going to get out.
I believe since the day that I got sentenced, I believed I was going to get out.
Okay. All right.
I believed that. I mean, I'm not a real religious guy, but I believe that God was going to see a way to let me out.
Okay. And so you were there during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
COVID ruined the prison system at Beaumont
Destroyed
as well, right?
Destroyed it.
Beaumont, to my knowledge, still only comes out 1 hour a day.
Okay. So when you got in,
Let me be clear. He has been, so July 24 is when he got to Butner. Beaumont was still locked down because of COVID, because of short staff, because every time they opened the door, everybody beat each other up, stab each other.
when you got to Butner was summer of last year, I guess it was, or summer of 24, right? Was the summer.
July of 24, yeah.
Beaumont was still on basically a COVID type schedule, which means they kept people locked down all the time.
Right. Yeah, they kept them locked down.
And when they opened up, there was violence. That was one of the things.
There was violence every time. As soon as they opened up, there was violence. So the shoe stayed full. So therefore they had to.
By the way, dirty urine. Get high on meth. Get a dirty. Ain't going to the hole. No hole. That's in a lot of prisons. Get drunk. Ain't going to the hole. You don't even get it. Even if you get a shot, disciplinary, no sanctions. I got 5 years shot. 5 year no visitation, 5 years phone, 5 year loss of commissary for my first dirty.
They used short of staff. They used the shoe being full, and they only let 16 cells out for 1 hour, and then lock them down. Then 16 mount again. During that 1 hour, you showered, used the computer, used the phone, got ice, hot water, ran around, talked to your homies in the cells that were locked down, and then went right back in your cell.
Okay, we got about 30 seconds.
You couldn't go outside.
What I want you to do is, I won't take up all your 15 minutes on the next call, but I do want one more time, and this is important to close it out, okay? So hang it up and call me back in 15 minutes, and we'll close it out. I won't stop minutes. Bye.
Okay, so I got one more, and this one's actually pretty quick. Okay, so let me do this. He's Oklahoma / Texas, by the way. Even if it's not in every prison structure, they'd be able to control their own race and every. I'm going to go back to this. I got to go back to that. Lake McAllister. You know about Lake McAllister, huh?
To accept this call, you may begin speaking now.
Look, I only have 4
I'm right by
minutes.
McAllister.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. Okay, so your living situation, you lost your mom, your sister, your family of deceased, the ones that supported you since you've been in, right?
Right.
Okay, you're going home to a friend, correct?
Right. Who lives in a bus?
Or lives in a bus.
A school bus is converted into an RV of some sort. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So
It's
not
stationary.
the ideal situation for you, but it's the one you got to work with.
Yeah, that's what I've got to work with.
Okay, and you're coming home and financially you're effed, right?
Yeah, I have nothing.
Okay, all right, because
I mean,
all right,
I've been gone for 18 years and have nothing.
okay, and you didn't get money in when you were inside, by the way, did you? From family?
No.
No money from
I
outside
got
sources.
When I worked as my job for anywhere from 12 to 20 cents an hour.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm gonna put a link. I know that your a distant relative put up or a friend put up a GoFundMe, and I'm going to drop the link. And I know that she asked for like $700 is what she was asking for. It can go over, under, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and drop the link and see what people would do. I can't make no promises, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, I would very be appreciative for you for what you've done, and I appreciate anything that anybody can do to help me.
Okay. All right, bro. And so I'm going to end that now. By the way, you can tell Gary to call me tomorrow. Is Bill Dunn still there?
No.
He's not.
No.
Oh, what a drag. Man, there's like a...
Anyway, we'll find Bill Dunn soon. I've got all kinds of those kind of interviews lined up. I got to figure out probably a way to do that. Now, Lake McAllister. Okay, so it is so impressive. Two small gangs from California had so much power. Okay, again, what I'm trying to say is, depends on the prison. And a lot of the power stems from A, they didn't have cameras back in the day. B, they were a different caliber of prisoner, meaning a lot of those guys were stick-up boys, murderers, kidnappers, not drug dealers. Just different caliber, total different caliber. And the myth and the hype that still surrounds it. Hollywood did a lot of that. Even if it is not every prison, it was structured that would be able to control the race in the prison yard. McAllister, I hear after you get a colostomy bag, they do, but they didn't with his. It just depends on which ones. So it looks like Eminem was able to succeed after running any prison yard, and AB was not. Walking tall, that was fun. Yeah, they do it sometime. Hey, Rob, I watched a YouTube saying Boston white boys did all the cleaning in any Fed facility this person was in. Is this true? He stated in any facility, Boston white boys cleaned house. Okay. A-Rod NJ82. I am, man, get rid of. I got it. I am been vocal on being pro-Boston guys. I like pro-Boston guys. I mean, I like Boston guys. I can't say that they cleaned the yard or got rid of everything. No. Okay, so if their own came in, they did a good job with their own people. So we were talking on here not long ago. So prison kind of gets weird. So you got Crips and Bloods that kill each other on the street and their friends in prison, right? Biker gangs. Outlaws, pagans, they all kill each other. Then they play handball in prison. So it's really weird. So Boston, they've had I know a couple guys, Butchie Dolan or whatever, but everybody tried to kill him, but they were fine with Butchie. But at Beaumont, I know that they did a good job. I know just from friends. I could have asked them about it if I would have thought about it. But I can't say on every yard or every time. They didn't clean the yard at Lewisburg when I was there, but they did a good job with their own car. Absolutely. Absolutely with their own car. What's up, David? So, okay, that's about it with him. You guys got any questions or stuff? Got only 40 minutes into it. See if any ghosts pop up in the back, which is crazy. I still don't know what the shadows. I can't get that figured out. Can't get that figured out, by the way. What else? Yeah, that's about it. Chicky. Rob, hope you're well. Stay focused. Boston holds a strong car. Does. Not going to say don't. Right on, Chicky. Donate to the channel, please, if you can. I've got to say that. And I'm freaking behind right now because I got doxxed on so many YouTube videos for the month. What do you think caused the AB to not keep control and Eminem maintain control of most of their people? The explosion of white prison gangs, the fact that the Mexican mafia also members, They didn't get, excuse me, I'm burping from soda. They were given indefinite, okay, so when they locked up the leaders of the Aryan Brotherhood and sent them to Marion and ADX, they did this also with the Mexican Mafia, if memory serves me correct. But the Mexican Mafia cut like deals with the staff, which Barry Mills was super, super jealous of, by the way. And they were able to get back out. There is only one dominant, well, the Norteños, the Northerners, but that's different. But they have remained the dominant, where the ABs, you had too many other white prison gangs come in, not like or see what they saw if they were on the yard, and just too many white gangs coming out of other prisons that were about it, and those prison systems getting thrown in. And also things that happen like I've talked about at Lewisburg, at Leavenworth, where the dirty white boys kind of bucked on the AB and the whole thing. That did something. Just a whole bunch of things. Could they rise again like that? I don't know. It'd be too hard, but maybe. You can never, maybe. I don't. It's such a good name. Hollywood created the whole the mythology behind it. Just like you can argue The Godfather, does a lot of different stuff. I don't know. Is that the right connection? But it's a great name for a prison gang, right? It's better than Dirty White Boys. You know what I mean? You got a bunch of AB offshoots. Like every state almost has an AB that's not even affiliated. Then you got the Universal AB. I'm going to be doing the Universal ABs very, very short. Rob, have you did time or heard of Boy George from the Bronx? Somebody brought it up in here, but I don't know who that is. No. The guys I know from Boston are always from Southeast Charleston. Yeah. Not. I only knew. So I'm the Southeast and the Charleston are pretty much the same. Are they not? I could be wrong. Springfield, Mass. Okay. Chicky, give them that. Very impressive that two small gangs to make it in any prison system, let alone some. Boy George from the Bronx, the real deal. Okay, Chicky. I'm not sure who that was. The only one I know more people from the Bronx than I think of, but Steve Correa, the best. Okay. Oh, Southie and Charleston are different. I thought when they said Southies are all the same. See? And I was with those guys. I feel stupid. Yeah. Okay. My bad, Boston. Don't. Yeah. I thought it was all part of the Boston Bandit stuff. Yeah, I did. Shame on me. See, and I did. Look. See, I don't even know that, and I did time with them. It's a perfect example. Who's who in prison, That's my little joke for being foolish. All right. Was there something back here I wanted to see? Usually I'm just getting hammered. And where is that one Lonnie dude? Jesus, that just beat me up. Did you see Skinny Joe? Oh, no, I missed some of these. Hold on. Did you see Skinny Joey in Beaumont? No. Was he at Beaumont? No, I don't. James Miller. Okay, here we go. Oh, man, I missed all this stuff. Okay. I love chess, but the name is a little deeper, meaning we're pawns in this world, but prized in the next. Nice. Okay. I did 5 years and 4 months burglary. How murdered? Oh, how is he free from a bond and a liberalist judge? I think it was a dick shadow. It was a cockroach. It was probably a big fly. Arkansas is haunted of. Laugh out loud. It was a big black shadow. Okay. Called him handsome and laughed hard. Shadow person. I missed all these. There's no one off camera doing that, but I missed all those. I'm glad I went back. Arkansas is a bunch of so-called haunted stuff. Again, so there's 2 houses on this property. The house next door, it's a little antique house. She killed herself. She hung herself, but it was a love story. Her husband died of black lung, and she didn't want to live without him, so she offed herself. Dorchester Spring from Mass, very impressive. Boy George, South in Charleston. Boy George has been down since '89. Boy George has been down. Oh, he's a Puerto Rican. Oh, wait a minute. That's not King George. That's different. Okay. Shea Brothers are great. And Freddie, and TYG. I'm not sure that part. The Shea Brothers, yeah. Know them both. Or you might be correct, Rob. I'm sure all Boston guys group up in prison no matter what section of Beantown they come from. Yeah, I mean, like I said, then they did the stronghold thing too, like the Italians. Their block was A block, which was one of the old cell blocks with the cell bars on it. Yeah, pretty beat up actually. Well, I'd probably rather be in there than D and B. But yeah, so there's a lot of Boston guys in A block. And one of my brothers, Jeremy Itis, I don't know what, I never even heard what happened to him. He lived with the Boston dudes and dug them. Do you think what the AB and Eminem will ever be replicated, and why or why not? Okay, so Walking Tall, ever be replicated? There'll be new versions and new gangs popping up. Wait till I get into the Universal Aryan Brotherhood, Parker. Wait till I get into the Universal Aryan Brotherhood. Started in the 90s. These dudes, as far as a prison gang, by the way, behind the wall with cell phones, drone drops, the amounts of money, the amounts of... When I got out, all I heard about was UAB, back in this part, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? So they didn't have a presence so in 2012, when they first started coming in, there was some clowning going on. What are these guys from outer space or what? You know, what are they trying to do? Patch up in outer space? You know, there was some clowning going on, and they didn't have any numbers. A couple guys were trickling in. Nothing to clown. You ever watch 48 Hours or 48, the first 48 or whatever? They're all Tulsa. They all talk. All those people are related to UAB homicides, most of them. And Cimarron, that's all those dudes did is watch that because it was all their friends, you know. Everybody, there were so many people from Tulsa and Oklahoma City in that place. They all knew everybody on the first 48. They knew everybody. Do you ever think? So will they be replicated? Not in the same way where there's no cameras in prison. Too many people. So if you join a gang, it's automatically like if you get busted, you have an incentive to tell. You know, there's so much different stuff now. You know, yeah, they're such gentlemen. No one can shine their shoes. They are most of the Boston guys bank robbers, bank robbers, and armed car. That's all. Like every one of them. Those are my favorite quotes. I'm just joking. Brad, hey Rob, just joining. You've been out walking my dogs. What have you guys been talking about? What have I missed? I just did a phone recording interview with my friend who Biden granted clemency to. He was at Beaumont. I put 18 years on the title. It's actually 16 years. Why did we get 18? Anyway, he said 18 too, but 16 years. He's in FMC. He's got cancer right now. They removed the cancer. He's going to go home next month. There's a GoFundMe link. That's what I try to do. Just whatever, just if you can. And I told him that we'll see what happens. And it correct the first time. Rob, can someone land in a hardcore USP and not join a gang, have a clean jacket, and do their time respectfully? Yes, not join a gang. Depending on their age, they're going to make them put in work. Put in work means you go to a block. There will be a white rep or a gang leader in each block. And if you're young and white, boy, you got no. So they're making guys put in work now. Whites are the most vicious ones, arguably, in the prison systems. So when I mean put in work, you're going to go assault somebody when somebody tells you to do it. And I usually say 18 to 40. Some guys past 40 can get away with it. And, there's probably some that can squeak by. But in general, you're going to go put in work nowadays, which is totally, totally ridiculous. Because you just can't have somebody that's not cut like that go do that. Freddie pleaded guilty to killing Whitey Bulger in USP Hazelton. Oh, okay. I got you. Is it there? Either. Gotcha. Rob would know if it is there or there. He's okay. Wait. I missed it. Their game. Oh, there. Yeah, dude. Their time. I'm a terrible speller. I got better as I wrote more. What's up, Doug? Right now, it's just they. There is there. Yeah, there is they are. Anything people want to talk about? I just did phone recording of a friend from prison. Gary Settle will be the next one. I did a show or did something about him in the back room, by the way, and it was dark. Eyes looked super black. Whatever. Doug Ross gifted somebody membership. I appreciate it. Can you see who that gets gifted to, or it's just random? I guess it's just random. I think Primo told me that. So wouldn't there be correct as in they are gentlemen? Yeah, okay. I first learned about Charlestown through a movie called The Town about a bank. Yes. So that's loosely based off those guys, right? And Bill Fleck, good cast movies, because those bad guy got away. It was The Town, the one that's loosely based off. Yeah, I think so. Cancel. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying. Yes. No worries, John. Okay, you guys are talking. Doug, thanks for gifting somebody membership. You can donate to the channel. Please do so. Or to Eminem. Who doesn't look like? He looks like an Eminem. No worries, John. Like the cartoon Eminems. Anyway. Excuse me. My bad. I don't want to sit there and let my nose run. And I have no chew. And I am jonesing for chew in my mouth. I usually say dip, D-I-P, but it doesn't sound like D-I-P. But man, I'm so sad. And I don't live where there's stores. So what would be the nearest store? The nearest store for me open right now. Mansfield's open. So 10 miles. I forgot they had an all-night thing, but yeah, it's not going to happen. Got to figure it out. Where's John? Rob was in USP Canaan in 2006. Was a gladiator school back then. No. So you're talking about me? If you're talking about me, no, I didn't go to Canaan. I was in Lewisburg. Thanks, Jeffro. Need PayPal for CA? No. So I got my PayPal. Are you talking about me? If you're talking about my PayPal account, it's on the screen. I got my PayPal cleaned up. So I don't care about cigarettes. Cigarettes do nothing for me. It doesn't. Matter of fact, they sound terrible. You should grow the tobacco. I should grow a lot of things. Oh, I got you, Chicky. So were you there when Joey got killed? Joey came? That was afterwards. Okay, Charlestown is getting a makeover. It used to be beautiful, then became a white ghetto after the potato famine. Now it's getting cleaned up again. Okay. Doug Ross, true. Some racist dudes up there too, huh? What was it? Maddie McDonald, is that what it was? There's a famous picture in a, okay, so there's two things that I was told. I'm not going to say it. So there's a football game. You guys might have heard the story about Boston. It was a rival gang, black and whites, black guy running down the field, and somebody shot him from like across the street. You guys ever hear about that? I'm not going to say just in case. I don't think it killed him, but yeah. And the flagpole, didn't they have some kind of racial issue? Somebody stabbed him with the flagpole. That happened. I just forgot the context and what had happened. Oh, there he goes. Doug Ross Pizza membership. Thanks. After I was gone by then. Okay. Southie, huge Irish. We went through race riots in the 70s over forced busing. That's right. That's right. And there was an issue. You know what I'm talking about? There was a football game incident. Correct me if I'm wrong or if you don't know about it. That's prison story stuff, you know. And there's a picture of the flag, but the flag stuff, forced busing. That was crazy too. They did that here. Chicky, are you from Brooklyn? Oh, just in case anybody was on my Twitter, I shut Twitter down. At least I want to do it, man. I'm like done with Facebook, I think, too. Or the only problem is people do reach out to me because then I'd have to give people my phone number, other people, and we can just do it. So I don't know. But I put it on private. I'm like, yeah. Maybe leave the Convict Inc. Facebook page up. Instagram I don't use. I got like 2 or 3 accounts on Instagram. I got so many accounts. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I don't know. I don't need them. Springfield, Mass. Okay. Springfield, Mass. So, let me see what else. Anything going on? There's like 48 guys. Okay. Man, yeah, where's that Lonnie dude that just had bombarded me with questions? Okay, here we go. Did you hear about Jeff Nadeau freaking out, thinking Joey Molina was going to kill him? No! Called the cops on him, then went and sat in a car in front of his mom's house? No. Is this true? Is this happening in Mobland right now? I thought Jeff Nadeau and Joe were there eating cheesesteaks or something, somebody said in the chat. I have not watched them. Neither one. Oh, no, I know who told me. He told me on the phone. They told me on the phone. I know who told me. And that Jeff Nadeau was no longer going to put on rats on his show. And he's basically a historian because he has no ties really. But how are you going to not do that? They're all rats. I mean, not all. So there's a few that aren't. Okay. Okay, hold on. Rob, are you open to collabs with other YouTube channels? For permanent or for just doing some content? Answer that, Era. Okay, I didn't hear that. And that means I skipped some things I don't want to skip. Rob, I've never been on FB. You haven't, huh? Right. Okay, I believe you. So that particular person, I have I couldn't, like, since I've been out of the joint, no, never seen him. I haven't even heard about him. That's why I was watching my words. I was watching the Dude Eric show, and him and his sidekick and some other dude who is on Angel Gotti's show. Now, never seen her show. She doesn't be on a paywall now, right? But never watched them, but I heard them start talking about, well, how did this drama on Mob 2 begin? As soon as I heard those words, I shut it off, unsubscribed. It was like, it was the same stuff. Oh, and they had that dude from SoFlo pop up, and I was just like, with a new name. I was laughing. I was dying, man. I was like, look at this bullshit. But I will say this, some of those channels have grown. I don't know about that, what you're saying about FB. They've grown. People like it. So, man, keep doing what they're doing. Rob, I just got cleaned out of a house for renovation. Well, I just cleaned out a house for renovation. The lady that lived there is now in a nursing home and 100 years old and was a hoarder. Where are you at, D'Agosta? Man, you know the only reason why I just hesitated? So I don't want more, because there will be remodeling someday. So I don't, like, the walls are bare. Like, I don't hang nothing up. Before I went in, there was things hung up in different rooms. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm going to, these paneling will come down. There'll be drywall sooner or later. But I know some antique people. I do. So where are you at, D'Agosta? Are you in Arkansas? I'm almost positive you've told me before, and if you're one in Arkansas, I forgot. Just I don't mean no disrespect. Apparently, Joey forgave. Brad, I gotta go find out about that just for shits and giggles. You gotta listen to the guy he called and told him about Merlina going to shoot him hard, man. Or somebody, Dom. Oh yeah. Well, I'll go. I'll just go find out. Johnny 33. Rob, maybe you should ask that Lonnie dude if you can be a technical rep on his movie set. I think you said that the other night. Lonnie has not reached out to me behind the scenes. And I believe that he's in an actor role getting it. Not a bad idea. The other night I just kind of poo-pooed it and went over it. But I don't know. Nobody's reached out to me. He's never emailed me. Although I think I got my email working. You guys don't know about that. That sounds pitiful too. It does. Okay. Yeah, but Doug, I'm gonna go listen to it. I'll go listen to that after. And I know what's gonna happen right now, since I was at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, I was so bummed that I pushed this for 10 and not 9. And I probably fell asleep for like 20 minutes. Yeah, because last night I was gone. Anyway. Okay. Apparently forgive Joey. I'm laughing at that. Okay, so real quick, let's go back up here, just in case you guys want to do this. I just want to keep putting out. Well, that's way down. Okay, I just want to put the GoFundMe thing for Eminem up on the screen. You can guys go see his picture. He's a lovely sight. Looks like a cartoon character. He's funny. Oh man, he's always on Joke Time. I will say that. I will say that, dude. Okay, Rob, heard that the Shields in Oildale, California. Rob, heard the Shields in Oildale, so Bobby Ray's people are making noise. They have a lot of youngins. They are already giving the CDC a headache. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Their uncle was put in the hat, from what I understand. I found a bunch of china, found red and blue, green glasses, old cameras, some antique furniture, old baby carriage. My girlfriend knows more about it and had been setting it aside. Okay. I don't know anything about antiques. She knows a little. I feel 24-year-old dumpster. Oh, 2 40-year-old dumpsters. I probably threw valuable shit away. So D'Agosta threw. So that all the stuff I had, and I can't repeat. I bought this place. 3 siblings lived here. They never got married. They had money. Had good jobs, okay? Probably weirdos. Probably weirdos. Probably the ghost hanging out. All their stuff was here. The oldest one, the last one that died, The nephew inherited it, who was 77. He had like, I haven't seen him in a while. His name was Tommy, but they looked at all the cash, got like 70,000 in cash in here, and told me you're gonna find a lot more cash. I never did. Enter methamphetamine. So all their clothes, all their blankets, to me, it just looked like old junk. There was old antique stuff out in the little house, which was their mother's from the 40s. That stuff was worth it. I had people that would come in here and say it's not worth anything. Other people would come in here and say they had treasures. There was Corningware, dishes. We took a picture one night. It was like $3,500 in California. But then we could never find that in Arkansas. It was a mess. I had all this crap. We moved to Fort Smith. We keep both places, but it became a problem for probation, but it became a problem for me because I had cleaned everything up and put it in rooms, and then I would get high and I'd move it to different rooms, and it became a big point of contention in the marriage with probation, with me. I gave it away. So I did sell some. So in the summer of 23, it saved me. Selling some of that kept me here. But in general, I had antique chairs that I was out there just burning the fire because I'm a fire bug. I just wanted to keep the fire going because I started throwing antique chairs. I don't miss meth. I don't. The other day I had a little Jones Ford in the yard, but that was about it. It passed. Then I just got to go look at the people. That's basically what it comes down to. Shield's son died last year. Really? Johnny. A-Rod. Reason I say that, Rob, about the movie stuff, I knew a few ex-team guys that did the tech stuff. Yeah, listen, it comes down to who you know. And it's in the media industry, in the journalism industry, it's called a Rolodex. I have a Rolodex with really big hitters on it. Just haven't reached out yet. Not there. Getting there. And I don't mean not there because this channel is going to get on track. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, what I said last week. And then Friday I started, I woke up, somebody else woke me up about something stupid I was pissed off about. I did not want to hear. I just didn't want to hear people saying, go look at this person, go look at this page because this happened and Facebook. And I just didn't want to even frickin' hear it, man. And then I listened. Then I woke up and listened to the microphone. I was just like, fuck. And then I was going to do, for my Friday on addiction and recovery stuff, I got to rethink that. I got to think my days. I got to be realistic. Like, I have to get down there. I have to get it. I was going to do meth and sex. I'm glad I didn't because I watched more stuff about it. Has to do with brain chemistry and addiction recovery. I'm way out of my field. I'm way out of my expertise level. I have to learn more. I'm glad I didn't do it, but I was just going to throw one out there anyway. You don't want to know what to look for. I got you. So you're in VA. Look at the best thing I can tell you is just take photos and Google it. It's fairly accurate. It really is, you know. And then in different parts of the country. So when it comes to antiques, let me tell you this. When the economy's on the upswing, antiques sell and they sell for higher. Right now, you've got. So let me tell you what I would do if I was a drug dealer right now and I was making money like I was in 1997. Let me tell you what I'd do. I would buy up, because of the space that I have and the buildings that I have, I would buy up every piece of Corningware in Arkansas. It's cheap as shit. Someplace, it's cheap. I would buy it and I would store it for like 10 years. That's what I would do. Because in California, that Corning, it's so much more. And there is a big market in moving stuff, but now's not the time. These stores up here they don't get business. They get looky-loos. Nobody's buying. So the antique stuff, you've got to hold, know what you've got. And then when the economy goes on the upswing, that's when you sell antiques if you have a place to hold it. Stop throwing away the older stuff until you know what it is. And I know it's frustrating. I know it looks like just junk. And you know what? Majority of it is. People back here, we got real hoarders back here that because of the amount of property. maybe like, I don't know what part of Virginia, if you live in the country people in general, back here it gets pretty bad. People on and off drugs, God. But anyway, yeah, that's what I would do when it comes to antiques. Yeah, they do. I heard Witsack use Arkansas and Arizona as their favorite states for resettling informants. I don't know about Arkansas, to be honest. I know, what I was thinking about this the other day. When I was growing up, there was a kid named Sam Bird who was one of the rich kids up on the hill. But his dad, they all changed their names. They were like in Witsack in California. And I wanted to go back and kind of find more about that. I just thought of him the other day. But yeah. Wow, the Shield's grandkids are making a name for themselves, huh? Wow. So I talked to the nephew. I don't know. So we were talking for a while. This is in the beginning. This is in the very beginning, and the very first video I did about the ABs. I got somebody reached out to me, and this dude loved what I did. He was telling me how Bobby Ray used to beat the hell out of his sister. Used to beat his sister. This is after he was an AB and came home. And he was telling me foul stuff about what Bobby Ray used to do. And he was going to come on and talk about it. I think I flaked on him probably, but then we just couldn't. Probably. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah. Antique chair on antique road. So yeah, you got to be careful. Mop tube goss's queen. They talk like women do. There's Lonnie. Lonnie, we're talking about you. Go ahead, Lonnie, open them up. If you find furniture in the... Yeah, I don't want another man from the internet call me about girly gossip. Yeah, it was a... if you're talking about the house is holding, there was a shadow moving around the walls. You missed it. You can go back in the beginning. I don't know what it was. There is nothing here. There's no car lights coming that could have did it, but you can go back and look at that. It was pretty funny. Spirit of New Orleans. I am behind on property taxes right now. I have the papers. So I did, in the last 2 days, I finally sorted out. I threw away all... So I do paper, not paperless, okay? On a lot of my stuff. I've had file cabinets that I've been holding on to forever. I just got rid of everything. Gone. Screw it. Got rid of a lot of old stuff that I've been holding on to around here because I need to start my life anew. A lot of reminders of just I'm starting fresh. So threw a bunch of stuff away, and what was the question? What was it say? And I don't have the money to pay the property tax right now, so I haven't looked. My mom's been yelling at me about it. So when I came back, Robert, you missed 2 property tax. I haven't filed in 2 years either, but it doesn't matter because, anyway, it matters. I got to do it. And so I haven't filed property tax. There's also lots that I sold to somebody that they're saying I was responsible for a year. I'm not paying those. I don't care nothing about those. I can care less. I got bad credit already. I can care less. Those I already sold them, and he's selling them, and he's a bitch. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, so, but this house, asked the question. I want to say 420. I don't know if that's right. No. Yeah, I think this is 420. I think the prop on all 4 lots, 2 houses. That's considered a house. There's 2 different properties. And it is a house. That house's foundation is better than this one. Just got one beam where the water runs down the hill here, goes underneath that house, and has been for 100 years. What's holding up that house is bricks from back in the day that I can put a shovel under the bricks, and it's still holding up that house. Water runs underneath that. The dirt has fell down. The house caved in. The chimneys there's a big chimney, which they use for coal burning stove, not for an actual chimney. It's heavy, pushed down. So that's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. And that wood is beautiful on the inside. Yeah, so the property tax is, thanks for the advice. You got all the stuff in this, something. Yes, let me know. Okay, Lonnie, if you're going to put yourself in the shoes of an actor, how would you go about becoming a character? That is a prison gang member broad question. Yes, maybe a little too abstract. Okay, this guy's serious now. Lonnie, by the way, people are saying you need to get me as a tech on the movie. I have a feeling this is a big movie, by the way. I don't know. Wow. You come up with questions that stump me for real. Brad, what would you do? How would you get in the... So these actors get in a character. What would you do if you're going to be a prison gang member? Practice your scumbag moves? Shoot heroin all day in the house? That's not funny. Wow. What would I do? I'm stumped. Lonnie, I'm stumped. You guys help me out, and then I'll be able to figure. He comes up with these questions that are, no, it's not too abstract, but you come up with these questions that are just so, you are a civilian. You know what I mean? And I am too, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? It's a trip. I'd have prepared to be yeah. You gotta, no one want to hold him, no one to fold him. Think Kenny was onto something. Okay, don't be Jimmy. What about a manual push lawnmower? What about it? Oh, DeGosta. Yeah, they're worth some money, man. Especially if they're not falling apart. They're worth something. Like how much? I don't know. My dumb ass gave 2 away. I could be using them. My grass is a nightmare right now. My grass is a nightmare, and I'm so mad at myself for what I did. I'm so mad. I had a lawnmower, but I can't say it like that because his family. Okay, I had a lawnmower I was using. I'm not using it. And then somebody who I know, who is a good mechanic, who's good at a lot of things, but has a problem, was supposed to come before the rain started. We got a day and a half break on the rain. It's gonna rain for like 4 freaking days. The grass is like this. It's such a nightmare right now. I don't have any lawn equipment. I had it all. I had 3 riding lawnmowers, gave 2 away, got a brand new one. Weed eaters, chainsaws, blah, 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 blah. Nothing. Got nothing. And what was the most valuable antique you acquired? What was the most valuable antique that I acquired? Okay, out of what I got in the house, what was the most valuable antique? I'm trying to think. Oh, that one lady came in and she played nice and she burned my ass. I remember. Oh, geez, maybe the old. Okay, so I had cotton scales. Coal burning stove was I got rid of it for $500. Kerosene stove I got rid of for $500 too. There's an old record player. I still got that. There's an old radio. I got one of the radios. The top of my head, I'm going to say it was the coal burning stove, and it was a kerosene stove and the wooden stove, because they were both 5. But there's something that there's probably more than that I'm just missing right now. There's probably more than that. Where were you Warden made a video about his horror show experience. Someone boiled water with oil. Where were you? Warden, okay. Where were you? Where were you? Okay. Oh, have I seen something like that? Arkansas Department of Corrections, the day I was leaving, the day I was walking out, Cummins, I was there less than 60 days. A white guy walked up to a black dude with gasoline, doused him and lit him on fire. That was one of the craziest things I've seen in prison. Dude flailing full of gas, rolling. That was crazy. That was wow. That was wow. As far as the oil and stuff like that, yeah, I've seen that. So I've seen somebody's in their face peels to get hot oil. The Snicker bar, I don't know why would they did the Snicker bar so the stuff would cake. That was overkill. They didn't even need to do that. What you really want to do, if you're going to do the baby oil trick, is you want to put Tabasco sauce in it. Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to put Tabasco sauce in it. You want it to burn as their face is peeling. Absolutely. And they were burning cells out. When I got there, they were still burning cells. So there's one cell burnt at Leavenworth when I was there. And then they kind of ran out of fashion. It was like, used to be trendy. Burn cells. So guys would be sleeping, they just throw toilet paper and they burn them out. They called them burning them out. I got a friend from Bakersfield and I came to find out that the Shields are treated like royalty there. No kidding, A-Rod, huh? Okay, so I did time with, that was a Butler one and the dude was in a wheelchair. Man, he thought Bobby Ray was a god too. I don't know about any of the other Shields. I can say the scumbag stuff that Bobby Ray Shields did. Man, I'd love to talk to that nephew again, by the way. Oh, and I've got a case about this. The ABs have been trying to do this stuff, hot shots and stuff for a long time. Bobby Ray put HIV blood in an outfit and gave it to somebody. He did that. Blood in, blood out my ass. That was crazy. But he got stabbed up at Lompoc, bad, as an FCI, I believe. You know, he did a lot of bad things. He patched two guys up that he was not supposed to. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Man, you know, but he made it a long time. It's hard to. A lot of guys. Look, he did a lot of bad things, but you're only as good as your first mistake if somebody wants to make it that way. You can do something super small, be a gang member, gang leader, white shot caller, white this and that. If somebody wants to like target you, or it's just it's a mess. Prison sucks. Stupid. You may have income tax to pay for the sold property. I paid everything on the house. There's lots that I still have to pay for like 1 year or something. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because, that dude not having issues. Lee, McKinley, yes, Rob, first lap. Right on, Lee. Right on, Lee. Lonnie, we used any type of jam or honey in a bucket of boiling water and call it Turkish coffee. That's a good one. Okay. Yeah, no, it's cheap. So I know that I saw $2,160 is what I owe for everything that I'm behind on 2 years. Super cheap. Insurance on houses are high. Okay. So you guys might know Primo is a friend of mine. I was paying $1,700 for this house a year. It's now, but I don't have the insurance I did then either. So now I'm just doing the minimum. The rental house I had was $11,000. So insurance, for whatever reason, is really high on houses back here. Henry D, what's up, bro? I've seen it happen and done it myself. So I made the concoction, but I never went through with it. Have you ever been threatened by the warden of any prison you've been in? If so, what was the context of the whole situation? Absolutely. Mickey Ray couldn't stand me because me and my friend Swivel hit somebody in the chow hall, and that was a pet peeve of his. You're not usually supposed to hit people in the chow hall. It ended up that way. Then we went to the shoe. Got into with a bunch of dirty white boys. We fought the SORT team. They put me and him in restraints, ambulatory restraints, for 3 days. Took our mattresses. Then separated us. And when they separated us, they put us in 2 cells next to each other. And the warden came by on 4th of July, and I was drinking with the radio on, smoking a cigarette. You're not allowed a radio in the shoe, tobacco, or alcohol. I was doing all 3. He then put me downstairs with all the Muslims. I was the only white guy thinking that was going to work. Wrong. I had a radio. They wanted to hear oldies. They used to get what's called common fare. The meal, it was actually really healthy, vegetables. Really, it was every meal, they got 10 packets of sugar. Back in the day, every breakfast every person in the BOP in the shoe got 10 packs of sugar. That sugar is used to make hooch. So the Muslims who didn't drink only wanted to hear the oldies for 1 hour. In turn, all of them gave me their sugar and vegetable. I can make a batch a day of wine. So I was skunk drunk every day. Well, it was for sure 3 days a week. I think one week I had a batch every day, but it was shit. It was like 3 batches a week. That's bags of wine that I made. Hooch. Mickey Ray found out about that and he blew a shit fit. Anyway, the DC Blacks were coming and he took me out of the cell and then he told me that the DC Blacks are coming and they did this, and this, and they sexual assault, they hated white boys, and he was going to put me out and he hoped I got killed. He literally said he hoped he hoped that they kill me. I was an asshole. And then he took me and put me in Lewisburg. He hand selected me because he became the regional director. That's a big shot. That's over the wardens. And after this man retired, 2 years after this man retired, there was a guy named Joseph Smith, a warden, who started with Mickey Ray. 2 years after Mickey Ray was retired as the regional director, Mickey Ray, I would come back from rec. It's hot. It's summer. I'm playing handball, and I can hear they're tearing apart my cell. They didn't tear it apart. I had a huge store, and they literally stepped on every chip, cookie, everything in packages, dumped soda out, destroyed my cell. And I was throwing a fit. The warden said, "Hold on, I want to talk to you." So he comes out and he said, "Mickey Ray said to say hello." A man who had been retired 2 years had my cell shook down and trashed. Talk about living rent-free in somebody's head. I even said, "What a sick bastard. He's retired and he did that?" Sick bastard. Yeah. Just bring it to it. Let it go, Rosso. I forgot which one. I grew up as a Latino in Jersey, holding the Emmy in such high regard. Then I hear, yeah, A-Rod. It's the heroin brotherhood. STI products are the shit. Steel products are the shit. Absolutely the best. Michael Watson or Weston? Wait, Henry, are you Michael Weston? I'm not sure what you're saying. I used to have a real nice lawnmower too, but then I guess someone needed it. Yeah. Eloy. All right, on Eloy. How you doing, bro? Lonnie, are you talking about the guy, Larry Lorton, this prison guy? What's up, brother? How do you say it? Dundee Utility. Okay. Michael. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You know damn well SoFlo was. Yeah. So this guy's talking about the Cubans used to masturbate in feces for some reason. Splinter from Prison POV talks about shit. Splinter. Does he? Spirit New Orleans good or bad or what? Hey. Yeah. Seems like any name Bobby Ray is suspect. So Bobby Ray, Bobby Ray was I mean, he was a brand dude that killed 2 people. You know, I mean, he did. Now, I know one of them was a sacromaniac that he was afraid of, but he killed him. He was looking the other way, and Bobby came up, stabbed him in the back, but he did it. Undershirts high everywhere. Augusta, John, all these white gang members Rob talks about sound like it could be an old country. See, whining. Down here, they want $4,000 a year for a 15 square foot home in New Orleans, and I was paying both parish and city taxes. Wow. So you guys got, paying $1,400 per year in taxes for a home with 45. I got you. Okay. Yeah. So this house, 90 with the, that's like not fixed up. But it depends. I can get somebody from out of town that can go up to 1. It depends. That little house that I sold, I had set for sale for $129. I put it up for $189, but it had more. Well, it had the best lots in town on it. Then what did I do? I was going through escrow, so a neighbor decides that her friend wants to live there, but she only had $64,000, so I took the 64, took the penalty for canceling the sale that was going through. There was a sale, actually, they bought it. It was going through escrow. I was high. I was nice. I sold it for $64,000. I spent it all in a casino in a day, 24 hours. Well, not a day, but it was. You pay for it twice. Yeah. Did you ever sell Airheads or Laffy Taffies in your prison shop? Not Airheads. I don't know about Laffy Taffies, but so people make taffy out of creamer, and I would buy bulk from guys that made it and then sell that. That's a pretty good hustle in prison. I'm gonna do the whole prison food thing. Any particular reason why you won't answer a question about Michael Tom? No. Did you? I haven't seen a question about him, Lonnie. I haven't seen him. Michael Thompson is a very, very smart, articulate guy who dropped out in 1984 and still wants to be some gang expert. The brand has changed 50,000 times since then. He's not an expert. He is well-spoken. I even watched an interview, I think he did. I forgot which one it was. Vlad TV, and it was like, wow, this dude's, and then you really start listening. Then I watched other interviews of him. He said that the blood in, blood out didn't exist. And when it was this platform, it was all about blood in and blood out. But he's a Native American. And he's a peaceful guy that he never killed nobody, but he did. He's a fraud. He's a fraud dropout. You know what? If you drop out, God bless you. If people want to drop out, I'm not even mad about that. But then but look, he's selling what he knows. I'm selling what I know. Guess just being on YouTube, but total different situation. That dude was in PC joints his whole life, like that Greshner. By the way, John Greshner's friend. I need to make this announcement. Very important here. Mike. Calling Mike, John Greshner's friend. I got the letters you sent me from prison. I mean, you got the letters you sent me when I was in Butner. Felon's Talk. Was it Felon's Talk? What's Mike's handle? What's Mike's prison channel? Felon Talk? Is that what it is? I think it is. Hold on. Where am I? Mike at Felon's Talk. I got a question for you, dude. And not a bad one. I'm not trying to, I shouldn't even say dude like that. Are you still on here? Are you still on here? Did I cut? I think I got rid of it. I actually got to call Ian from DC Blacks before he's not on there no more. I think it's Felon's Talk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The John Greshner. I got that letter that you sent me at Butner. I just found it. You told me the other on my chat, if you're listening, you reached out and you said, Rob, I'm the one you talked to, correct? David Meach. Are you or are you not David Meach? Or was that not your, let me see, sent. Oh, it's not doing it from. Now I know why nothing's getting answered from my phone. Damn, I can't look it up because that phone's not working. The emails aren't working there. Obviously, it's on the computer. And I sent you an email to see if it was you. Answer me if it was you. Somebody from Felons Talk, get word to him, or somebody watches that before I put these letters out. Big, total different. I need to understand this before I bring this up again. I think I'm going to go to Eon and DC Blacks with this because this is totally different. When I went back and read that letter, I'm like, wait a minute. And this guy is having Greshner on, but this is what he's. I'm confused. I'm confused, Mike. That's what I just need I need some guidance. I need some guidance. Yes, they did. The Cubans were really bad about that. There's an old one I did called "Dope Sick in the Doghouse" way back. Go spend 40 minutes one day and listen to that. That was a hell of a story. I was dope sick in the doghouse, and this lady, correction officer, made me sleep in the shower, stay in the shower for a weekend. In the shower, locked the shower, caged it in. It was a special housing unit. Bitch. Taught me not to cuss her no more, though. I'll give her that. What's your opinion on lawyers that part the play in the whole system? Okay. What's your opinion on lawyers? Okay. What part they play in the whole system? And is it the system rigged to pump more people into correctional facilities? Okay, here we go. Lawyers, most of them are not lawyers, they're plea bargainers. The system is designed for plea bargains. If more people went to trial, by the way, I had a whole jail, not a whole jail. I had a lot of people going to trial until I lost. Then everybody was like banging on the door. Please, can I have a plea bargain? Yeah, I had my spiel about everybody stop taking plea bargains, and we're all going to go to trial. We're all going to be found innocent. We're all going to go home, and yay, yeah. Didn't work out that way. But lawyers, they're plea bargainers. The system is designed to pump people and put them in jail. If you ever get busted in the federal system, if you know anybody who ever gets busted in the feds, they are morons if they do not use federal defenders. Do not pay for a federal attorney unless you know the fix is in. If you know for a fact the fix is in, and it's in some places still, the judge golfs with the lawyer. You know what? You know what's a better place to waste your money? Research your judge. Get a PI on your judge. Not in an evil, bad way. Find out who his friends is. Find out where he eats. Then find the lawyers he hangs around. Then get that lawyer. That's a good strategy. Do not spend money on it. They can do nothing for you. The federal guidelines are set unless the fix is in. They're not. Federal defenders know more law than anybody else. I know people say that the feds, this person sold me out. Everybody that doesn't get the sentence they want's been sold out, okay? Do not pay for an attorney. If you're rich, hide your money. Never pay for a federal attorney in the federal system. State, totally different. Federal, never. Save your money for, the very least, post-conviction stuff. And then you're probably going to get beat by most of those people too. But yeah, matter of fact, learn the law and do your own case. Do you think Thompson was innocent of his crime? No. I was on flat. No, Thompson's no. Yeah, I got caught defrauding bums or something. He's a fraud. Felons Talk. Yeah, thanks, B. Rick. Felons Talk. When are we getting prison food videos? As soon as I have money to buy that stuff. First, I got to pay my mortgage and my bills and feed me. So probably 2 months. I mean, probably. I don't have nothing to waste on that. I don't have a dime to waste. I probably would have bought a can of chew if I would have had the money. No BS. Probably. In change, scraping change before I came on. I even counted. I didn't have it. So, did you ever see any matchstick guns made in I never saw them, but they did zip guns with bubble. I never saw that. Was Bugler good back in the day? Bugler was wonderful in the Arkansas Department of Correction. Oh, yeah, Bugler was good tobacco. Bugler was good. Top was what they had in Arkansas. It was terrible. Bugler, yeah. So I smoked Bugler when I got out. I was all hardcore. I was too hard for the streets. Not this time when I was a kid. I came home from Arkansas smoking, rolling my own cigarettes for a minute. Jerk off. I was stupid. Yeah, Charles Manson was abroad in prison. The ABs wanted him just to get with the broads on the outside, and they kind of did that anyway. Michael Thompson talks about that, and I heard that same story too. Manson was cult leader in prison now. But look, I mean, he got guards to bring stuff in because he had money. So he had money in prison. You got money in prison, you know, you can get protection. Gotti. You can get protection. You can get cell phone. You know, you can get whatever you want if you want that. Rob Felon Talk is still on, brother. So you mean he's still on right this second? Oh, okay. No, I never met John Gotti. He's been doing lives. I'm sure he's a older guy, right? Yeah, Felon Talk. So what movies are you acting in, mate? So he's asking you, Lonnie, if you can ask, what are you going to do? If you can put it out there. When you were sitting on the yard, when you were sitting on the yard on rec time, where was your head at? What were you thinking about? Plots, looking who is new on the yard, potential threat. I'm going to be totally honest. I went out to the yard every morning. My friend Ronald Coleman was on here not too long ago, and he said that every morning I walk the yard and I walk fast. See how I talk fast and I bounce? I walk really fast. So they'd think I'd speed walk, like I was trying to be a speed walker. Never. And talking about my hips moving. Yeah, I do have hips. Fucking asshole. But so I hit the yard every morning. I put my radio on and I didn't want to talk to a single person. When I walked, I thought about my past life, about a future life, wife, whatever. And it was how I wrote. It was my creative point of the day. Walking, I would walk things out in manuscripts. I've got 3 manuscripts that I wrote, white trash prison books. I got to pull them. I got to do something. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to try this little half-ass cookbook that I got and throw it up here and sell it for $5.99 or whatever. I don't know how to. We'll see. I got it laid out. Tomorrow's probably going to be a day. We'll see. I walked the yard and didn't think about nothing. It's a no-no to put your radio on full blast. I kept my radio on full blast. It's a no-no to wear shower shoes in the block. I wore shower shoes in the block. It's a no-no to wear shower shoes in Lewisburg to go get ice. I wore shower shoes. I didn't care about none of that stuff. Never did. If I was going to get booked from behind, then I'd be listening to music. I didn't care. That's just the chance I took. Plus, I didn't do scumbag shit. Really? Well, I did, but that was always plotting, and then it was done. But on the rec yard, so you're thinking about from a movie standpoint again on California rec yards. Every yard is different, and it's not what you think. So go watch things about Pelican Bay and stuff like that. You can see how those yards are set up with the concrete. I never did time at the new pins. I was always on a big yard. Lewisburg, Leavenworth, they had huge tracks to walk on. Butner FCI 2 was massive. Chino was massive. I was always on good yards for walking. But if we were plotting, it would be with a different person. Looking who's new on the yard, you would be suspecting somebody to come to the yard usually. You would already know. People get the laundry list ahead of time. You know who's coming to the yard. So you might be looking out for danger if there's somebody new that's a different or an enemy type gang. So I'm sure you're gonna be in a are you gonna be in a big production? Can you say it? Did you ever assault someone with a lock and a sock? Yes. And you know what happened? I assaulted somebody with soap in a sock and a lock in a sock. You know what I did? You know what happens when you do that? You swing, and the soap goes flying, it busts out of the sock. Or you swing, you have to tie the sock around the lock and then preferably use a belt and make sure you're holding it, because if not, it will slam back and hit your hand and fuck you up. I have done a belt on a sock and been successful. I have been unsuccessful where I went, fucking lock busted, and yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. That question was for Lonnie. Yeah, it was for Lonnie. Lonnie, what movies have you been in? I don't think he has been. He is going to be. Oh, you can't talk about it for legal purposes. I'm telling you, he's Brad. He's asking pointed questions. I mean, he's really going for it. I get it. Yeah, he says he can't. Yeah, it's first movie. I thought that. Rob, I heard this mob guy with a new channel say the same thing with legal aid. With legal aid, same thing. Same things go with legal aid. Okay. Doug, I hear you something in the house. What? You hear? All you hear something in the house like a humming sound. Oh, do all of you hear something in the house like a humming sound? It's a fan. There's a fan on. It's really humid. I didn't put my central heating and air on, saving money. So there's a fan right there. It's on low too, you know? So that's why. Thompson's back in jail. Was Mickey Ray that bad? He was fucking horrible. So he looked like Jimmy Carter. Looked just like Jimmy Carter. Talked with he was from Missouri, but he had a strong country accent actually. And he looked just like Jimmy Carter. But yeah, he was something. But I will say this. He won't lie to you. He wouldn't lie to you. Okay. People new to prison for the first time. Were you able to tell how they make out when they came in? What's the body language, facial? You knew if they were hot. You knew if they had skeletons in their closet. Yes, you can tell a lot of times, yes. By the fear, by the amount of fear on people. Now, there's new guys that come in that don't know. I'll never forget. Well, he actually had skeletons in his jacket, a closet. That's why. You can tell. When you're down for a while, you can tell. You can tell. You know, you get a feeling is what I'm saying. Working man who escaped from 3 federal prisons. The film. My friend's son who did 5. Okay, working man, huh? Lonnie, you guys make Shawshank 2 or what? Okay. What do you think of social media influence that glorify prisons views it as a accomplishment or some kind of badge of honor? Wes Watson comes to mind. So I think a lot of prison channels are caricatures. So Wes Watson, you know, because he was going towards the physical fitness stuff, a lot of prison channels, hey, what's up? And I'm not, that's not one person. That's like, so I did say before in the past that I thought that JD was like the Hulk Hogan of prison channels, but I have nothing against JD and I actually want to reach out and talk to him. I'm going to wait till I do that. If everything works out, I'm supposed to go on Ian's show in whatever's, damn, I can't think of the last name, in June. Supposed to, we'll see. Then there's a couple people that he knows that he has their phone numbers that I want to reach out to, but I need another month. I'm good. I don't know about the yelling and the screaming and the what's up. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But they're huge channels. So I need to start coming on there. What's up, brother? Like I could be the new Hulk Hogan. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I also know other things about other channels that I have no. Do Red and Andy get caught in Mexico-Lani? Red and Andy get caught in Mexico-Lani. Did I answer what kind of... Okay. What do you think of social media influences that glorify prison views? So I think that people have said that I glorify prison too at times. So my older ones especially. I will say that if you spent most of your life to prison, you've had a lot of good times in prison. But if you really listen to my channel and I'm talking, I don't think that at the end of the day, you want to go to prison or join a gang. So I don't know. It's hard. Look, we're all kind of putting prison content out there. You know what I mean? People have different styles, different ways in the things they do. Maybe some people wouldn't want to be as open and mouthy as me or as blunt. Maybe they live in the city, or I don't know. You know? So I don't know. But I hope that kind of answers your question. Rob, how do you think you'd get along with Wes Watson in prison? He's guy's in good shape. So, okay, so if he's in good shape and he thinks he's a killer, if he was trying to run something, I'd hit him in the back of the head with the pipe. Just because he's already put that out there that he's this big tough guy. Why would I don't want to lose. It's all about winning. You don't want to lose. Rock him to sleep. Dude, I love your show. Love your show, bro. Oh yeah, you what? You're saying what? Yeah. Yeah. That's the way you do it. That's prison style right there. Oh yeah. Hey, by the way, Boxer is very articulate. Boxer's very articulate. He is. So you can say what you want about him. He's good. Boxer's good. And he's into the rehab stuff too. So he's good. I don't know about Enrique. I don't know. The other one, I don't know. But man, all the rats get the channels. That's so many. There's an Aryan Brotherhood dropout, first name Casper, that's on YouTube. It would be pretty interesting for you guys to have an interview together. I don't know who Casper, I have to look for real. Or the old mob guy's dangerous, whack somebody's family if they came across them in the pen. Let me say this. Fuck no. Now, you're saying old mob guys. Okay. So we're not going back to the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. I did hear somebody that, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to do that to him. Carmine Persico got Kool-Aid thrown on him and embarrassed in the chow hall. The kid's family was fine. Okay. And Carmine, I'm pro Carmine. Could it be easier if they were all living in Bensonhurst and another family member? I guess it can be easy. It's not like that at all. It is not like that at all. Not at all. Maybe it was. I've never seen a mob guy, I don't care how powerful or how much I liked him, that I believe can reach out and touch somebody's family. Okay. That would waste the time to do it, even if he had a little. So let's say they're having a little temper tantrum because somebody did something to them. Is it then worth it for them to get somebody on the street to go do something when they can be doing something else? They haven't even touched Sammy the Bull or Michael Franzese, whatever his name, or Dom, or any of the other mob rats. Jerry Capisci, alive. They can't wait to read his paper. Who ratted on who? And so, nah, I just don't. Maybe. Was there any prisoner types like Max, Caddy, Robert De Niro from Cape Fear? I can't remember the character. I can't. That's the one that got out of prison and then got on the boat. Yeah, but I don't remember. I can't really remember. It's been so long. Rob, Red, and Andy were in Shawshank Redemption. Okay. Are DC Blacks the most powerful in terms of numbers? They have a lot of divisions. There's a lot of divisions within the DC dudes. Okay. But yeah, if they grouped up and stuff like that, we thought they were going to be this scary big thing at Leavenworth that they weren't, but they beefed with the other black dudes. But the other black dudes, they got a lot of divisions between them. Not knocking DC whatsoever. I'm just saying they do. What qualities did the female guards have that the males didn't? A vagina. What qualities? Man, if you're asking if they're more caring and some of the counselors would be like that. But the guards, a lot of them just, okay, let me see. What qualities did the female guards have that the males didn't? What qualities? Yeah, most of them were softer than the dudes, but there's always going to be these cops or robo-cops, females included, that are assholes, and I'm fine with assholes if they stay being an asshole. It's when they're assholes and nice one day, that's when it gets wishy-washy. If you're going to be a correctional officer, if you're going to play a correctional officer, be one way or the other. Be the cool correctional officer that doesn't want to do anything, sit in your office, or even the dirty one that brings in stuff, or the asshole. Don't flip-flop back and forth, Yeah, I'd hit him with the pipe. You're rolling tonight. Eon. Okay, Eon, I got a call. I got a letter. I said this the last time, but I promise you I'm going to get a hold of you because it's about Mike. And a letter he sent me, and I need to see something, okay? Yeah, I will. There's a guy with the DC Black channel. He'll tell you DC Black's got a lot. I think he will. Okay, they asked, is it most powerful with the numbers wise? And my comment, in case you didn't hear me, was, yes, there's a lot of division between the DC dudes. I saw DC Muslims, and I forgot who it was, and if my friend Rob was in the chat room, he can jump in right now. I think, was it with the Philly dudes? I forgot, but there was a shitload. And I don't know which, there's different religions there too. I don't know them. I'm going to be honest. Michael, who is Mundo, okay. Mafia generally have a rule to not go after family members. So I think Mafia generally have, I think that's, again, I believe that that's old mythology. Don't go after family members. I think Carmine Persico killed his son-in-law. Had it done, right? Pretty sure the kids did time for that. Again, we people, consumers of the media, have been led to believe that the Cosa Nostra, I put law in that one video like Miami, Mafia has had these grounded set of principles and rules, family guys. We have been snowballed and lied to all these years. The rules are made up as they go. Don't sell junk. Bosses just found out we're going to sell junk. Let's kill the boss. And the junk dealer takes over. Family values. The Chin has 2 families. Which one did he value? I can go on and play. I can clown all day, and I do often. So, it's just, he's one of the first ME members to roll over in Cali. Okay. Me must up. What's up, Rob? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you. What's this channel's name, Mundo Guy? DC Blacks are not a gang. Thank you. So, was I right the way I put it? I hope I heard you. Your answer was on point. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yes and okay. Yes, and I will be there. Convict Inc. Okay. Lonnie. Yeah, wait. Matter of fact, before I even call you, I am going to send you, and it came from Mike, I'm going to send you snapshots of that letter so you can go like, what just happened here? You'll see. I won't be on too much longer. How does taking the drug ecstasy in prison mix? Whoa, I never took, so I've only taken ecstasy twice back in the 80s. So in prison, it was, it was heroin, black tar specifically, mostly. California's black tar only. The feds, it was where you got people from everywhere, so it was everywhere. For some reason, St. Louis or Chicago had the brown. St. Louis got this gunpowder looking stuff. Those 2 areas between that brown, I don't ever really got that. But ecstasy, I don't ever remember. There was acid that came in for a while. Never did that. Never wanted to. Of course, pot, marijuana. Then it became the synthetic, which K2 is killing prisoners in prison systems everywhere. It sucks. Suboxone. And meth. So now meth getting more expensive in prison. So I know guys in 3 different prisons. And it was a chapstick when I was just in Butner. And that's all over the complex. Chapstick cap was $100. Basically a prison gram. Michael Merlino looks like he's going to suppress all the... Joey Merlino. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Lonnie checks off White Underbelly. He's old school Mexican Mafia, 60s and 70s, eventually snitching everyone, including Joe Morgan. You see Black Mob Spot or something like that. I was there long. Okay, I was there long that when I first got there, there wasn't that many DC Blacks. Then almost by the week, we got more and more. Yeah, and we lived in a block that was like they're strong. I mean, there was a lot of them. Don Juan was the best one for sure. It's called China White. Convict Inc. is the name of the channel. Okay. I never had a problem with DC guys. Loved Old Man Bernie on the first floor. Old Man Bernie. Hey, Rob, do you remember I was talking? Joey ain't no rat. Talking about Joey Merlino? No. I think that they weren't saying, okay, I got you. Okay, let's let you guys do that. If hallucinogenics is recommended to be took in a chill, positive environment, how could prisoners take acid and not have a bad trip? If hallucinogenics is recommended so you see the dyslexia going on? To be took in a chill, positive environment, how could prisoners take acid and not have a bad trip? Okay, I got you. I got what you're saying. I got a friend of mine who's thinking about doing that whole go to Mexico, take the mushroom thing. Heroin in the area is called China White. Yeah, but there's a lot. I don't know if it was. No, I know for a fact that gray gunpowder out of St. Louis. That was 2014 was the last time I was really on H in prison. And that stuff, boy, oh boy. Oh, we've seen dudes on PCP. So this dude right here, hey, Lonnie, so you might want to go on this channel, DC Blacks, and get a different perspective. So you're white, I believe, and you're doing a white gang member thing, but he can answer questions for you too. So there's a guy on here named Lonnie, Eon, who is going to be in a movie. And you can tell it's a serious deal because of the questions that he asks. Dude asked some crazy questions. Straight civilian, you know what I mean? Like wanting to know, try to get into character. You might want to check out that channel too, from a different perspective. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, from a black dude's perspective, that channel, you should go look at it for sure. Yeah. What? They call that dog food. Yes. So, by the way, so Eon was in Lorton back in the day, and he went in as a kid. So imagine that. So if you guys don't know, that place was fucking off the hook. Excuse my language. Off the hook, man. I mean, they had everything in there. There's nothing they didn't have in there. So he sees PCP in prison. Man, I can't imagine. You know, real quick, I did PCP one time by accident. So when I was 15 and a half, I know that sounds stupid, but when I was 15 and a half, 12 years old, I made my confirmation to the Catholic Church. My sister gives me pink cocaine. There was pink cocaine. I'll never forget it. And the dude who was there, his name, he was the high school football hero who got hurt and became like a loser zero and was selling cocaine to me when I was 12 and he was graduated. So he's a real loser, right? Anyway, I'm just joking. So I do my little coke thing, 13, 14 on the weekend. Then I start getting 8 balls and selling them or whatever. And then I go to a friend's house one day and everybody's smoking bass. This was free bass back in the day. This is 80s, mid 80s. So I become a bass head basically. Every day I smoke that shit every fucking day. And then it was cracked too because it was easy to get, even though San Pedro projects, it really wasn't. You had to go to Wilmington, which was the harbor area, to go get anything. But anyway, I went to loser school, which was continuation school. So if you screw up in school, they send you to loser school. I got busted selling weed in school. They sent me there. And I got a probation case off it. So there's these Mexican dudes. They're just like you would think. They're gangbanger types, you know. Forgot which, doesn't matter. They're behind the trailer in the school. Everybody in school, like the teachers didn't teach. We just had to go sit there. Loser school. So these Mexicans have this cigarette, and it is brown on the end, okay? Now, I have put rocks of coke and used to smoke it that way, okay? So I get out. I had a VW bus. Yes, I started driving when I was 15. My parents got it for me when I was young. Surfer kid. So I get out and I see these dudes, and I run over like, man, hey, give me a hit. They're like, what? I'm like, give me a hit of that stuff. You're like, you do this? I'm like, yeah. They gave me a hit of this shit. I walk. You ever have glasses, like regular glasses, and you put them out and you feel like you're walking in a hole? Like, I feel like I was walking into a swimming pool at each walk. I get into the class and I'm sitting on the desk, and all of a sudden I grab it because the desk feels like it's going, like I'm sliding down a swimming pool. And I grab it and just start going, ah! Screaming. My mom had to come bring me to the emergency room. Yeah. That's what happened. Off the hook, to say the least. Did they have a wood shop class in prison? Wood shop class. So probably Lorton did, but California, Chino did. Arkansas, they had hobbycraft. They made saddles. So they did have a wood shop, but they made saddles. Go figure. Arkansas making saddles. There's some dudes there. There's some cowboys in there that made some saddles. The Feds wood shop, ceramic, no, not ceramic, knitting, painting. I know I'm missing something. Oh, leather. So those are the ones I remember as far as wood shop. Low dose is the way, Rob. Okay. Low dose is the way, Rob. Micro dot was great. Black tar was good too. Rob, my God, only did it 5-6 times. Smoke off a tinfoil, chasing the dragon. I never smoked heroin. I smoked fentanyl. Holy bully. Some informer said that gas pipe Casso had a pistol smuggled into the prison. Oh no, there's been prisons found. They just found a 2 pounds of meth and a gun at Leavenworth last year. Lorton was probably full of Arkansas Department of Corrections. They had them down at Tucker, Cummins. They had pistols everywhere. I've never seen anybody use one or heard about it, but they find them. Yes, they find them. I think they just found a bunch in Atlanta and they did a sweep too. Oh yeah, on the females. Girl had one up her vagina. When I was at Raybook, they smuggled ecstasy in. I said, why the fuck would you smuggle a sex? Never even thought about that, Rob. That was great. It was great. You're right. What about the dudes? What was the one dude? There was a guy. I wasn't there. So people know who it was. Just one like solid white dude. He'd do meth and he'd come out. He would like, he didn't mess with boys, but he would get meth and dress up like a girl. What was that dude's name? It was Leavenworth. Oh man. Oh, I gotta find out about that. Henry Salisbury used to make horse saddles and did time in Arkansas. Henry Salisbury. I'm not sure. Well, they're dead now. The Sharp brothers, Jackie and Jody. I think Jody's still down there. Jody made saddles, I'm pretty sure. Those are in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. People knew him. Yeah, Jackie used to fuck with boys. Jody never did. Sharp brothers. Anyway. Wacko, Stevie. Were you talking about Stevie? Is that what you're saying the guy's name was? Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go. Okay. The guy who dressed like a girl is probably that Narducci guy. No, I'm going to go ahead and cut out. I am going to send Eon something just to hear a minute. And, okay, hold on. Yeah, remember Buster Phillips? I think they let him out like after 35 years. Buster Phillips? I can't remember. That doesn't sound familiar right off the top. The one who was involved in that lawsuit at the ADX? Night. Okay. Yeah, listen, I'm gone, you guys. I might do a live tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for showing up. If you guys can do GoFundMe for Eminem, look, it was a Hail Mary. Just threw it out there for him, okay? Take care. Have a good one. Eon, expect me.